Come on in, you guys. We're about ready to start my show. It's called Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com is the website. As always, you can engage live in the content. You gotta go follow me. I'm over on Instagram. At Livin' Low Carb Man is the username, LIVINLOWCARBMAN. Once you are there, you can engage live in the content, and we appreciate you guys being here today. We do the show at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. We sometimes do a bonus episode at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, so definitely come check us out. I've been doing some weekend ones, but I decided over this past weekend not to do one, and on either Saturday or Sunday, and it was awesome. And so I'm thinking I'm going to back off on doing this during the weekends so I can refresh and recharge. I was finding myself getting back in that kind of go mode again, and I think I need Saturday and Sunday to just chill a little bit. So Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern is primarily when we do this, and if I do a second one, it will be at 5 p.m. Eastern. So that's how you engage in the show live. If you missed the live, you can watch it on replay for up to 24 hours on Instagram. We also simulcast, by the way, on Facebook. So thank you guys here on Facebook for watching as well. You can watch the replay over at JimmyRants.com. We also put all of these past episodes over on YouTube. Just type in a keyword Jimmy Rants. You will find the show. So what's going on, you guys? We're here on a Monday morning. So much going on still in the world with this COVID-19 thing, and people still feeling the stress of all of this, and for good reason. I think we need to be understanding that what we're going through is literally unprecedented. Literally, we've never ever had to deal with the kinds of things we're dealing with right now. And perhaps, getting to what we're talking about here today, perhaps you've noticed you're feeling a little bit achy. Perhaps you're noticing some pain in your neck, and not just your husband. You have a pain in the neck, but it's not just your family too. But you're actually feeling pain in your neck. I know I woke up 2 or 3 days ago and the whole backside of my neck had all kind of knots in it that just came out of nowhere. And maybe you're feeling some stiffness in your shoulders. I've also had more headaches lately where I get little tension headaches. I noticed this morning it feels like I did a tricep workout because I've got pain in the backside of my arms. Are you guys noticing that? Are you getting sore as if you worked out? That's not by accident. I found an article that explains what's going on. A bunch of medical doctors are like, we're all dealing with basically COVID-19 stress. And that stress, whether you're actively feeling like you're stressed or not, you're stressed. And so your body is trying to figure out what in the world is going on. And so if you have unexplained soreness in your body as if you've been working out but you've not been working out, pay attention to this story. So this is from bustle.com. Why am I sore if I'm not working out? So we went to the experts to explain. So you wake up, your muscles don't even know you are aching, and your first thought is that you probably went too hard in a spin class yesterday, but then you remember, oh yeah, the gym hasn't been open because of the coronavirus, but you're sore all the time, even though you're not working out. Like, literally, is that happening to you? Like, when I first started feeling the effects of some of this, I was shocked too, because I'm like, well, wait a minute. This is how I felt when I flipped the tire. This is how I felt when I went really hard at the gym doing a lifting exercise. Why am I so sore? Well, we're about to find out. It's fair to shake your cramped fist and ask the universe, what gives? So Dr. James Gladstone is a medical doctor who's the chief of sports medicine at Mount Sinai Health System. He said, emotional stress causes physical issues because you have pent up tension in your body. And think about it, you guys, when you are constantly under stress, one of the first responses that your body does to that stress, whatever the stress is gets tight. So you know it too, because a lot of times people will get that tension headache. You'll start to feel pain emanate from your neck and or shoulders or lower back. That's the other area that has been painful for me, between my shoulders, my neck, the back of my arms, and my lower back. It's been a doozy. trying to handle the physical effects of the emotional stress. So many are under so much emotional pressure right now because of economic insecurity, loneliness associated with social distancing, and more. But don't expect to feel that pain only in your heart. Because a lot of times people think when they have stress, it's rough on the cardiovascular system, which it is, but it's physically rough as well. Dr. Gladstone said that this kind of emotion is very often felt in your neck, your upper back, as well as along the tops of your shoulders. In other words, it's not just endless push-ups and pull-ups that make your body get sore. Your emotions can give you this as well. So delayed onset muscle soreness doesn't just apply to a heavy workout. Maybe what some of us are now experiencing through this physiological effect in our bodies is what emotional toll does on the body physically. And I don't think a lot of people even think about that. Think about, like, before the coronavirus thing came around, think about the day-to-day aches and pains that people often chalk up to, oh, I'm just getting older, or, oh, I must have had a little something in my diet, that gluten or something in my diet that caused that pain to come back. And maybe those things did cause that. But I wonder if it's the stress. I wonder if it's the emotional toll. It's something fascinating, right? On top of the emotional stress that's tensing up your muscles, there is a physical aspect of it as well. So pay attention to this. Staying at home and then practicing social distancing is not good for stopping the coronavirus, but you're engaged in non-activity, and that's not so great for your body. Which is why we see a lot of people say, when you're at home, do some movement. Don't just sloth around on the couch all day. Think about it. While you're working from home, you don't even have the opportunity to get up and chat with colleagues, as many people do when they're in their day-to-day job. You don't have the opportunity to do that, let alone sprint to catch the train so you can grab drinks with your friends after work. I don't think we realize all the little movements we do in the day-to-day-ism of our lives that's now gone or greatly diminished. Eliminating all that physical movement is surprisingly hard on your muscles and joints. Your muscular blood flow decreases and your bones start to weaken when you go sedentary. To make matters worse, your upper body and hips get hit especially hard when you're hunched over on a computer all day. So when you're working from home, you're in a different chair. Are you noticing maybe you're kind of hunched over a little bit of a different way than you would be at work in your executive chair, typing on your computer, and you've got all the things all set up. You've had to make a makeshift office at home, and so it's different. It's different. Slouching on your couch instead of using the chair. A lot of people, they'll get in the couch like this, and then they're like typing on their computer and thinking that is going to be the same. And while it may feel good in the moment, are you causing more harm than good? So an osteopath named Dr. Joseph Bax, who is a skilled in pain management and rehab at Mount Sinai, he said when the body is under constant physical stress, so again, this emotional impact physically on the body is physical stress, it will affect your musculoskeletal, neurological, digestive, and cardiovascular system. Well, the cardiovascular is the obvious one. Musculoskeletal, you may feel pain in your joints and in your bones. People say, I feel pain in my bones. It's a thing. Neurological, maybe you're finding your thinking is discombobulated right now. Maybe you can't understand why you're having senior moments and you're 35 years old. It's having an impact. Digestive, are you noticing when you eat food, maybe your bathroom habits are not as good as they were? Or maybe you're hearing gurgles, or maybe you're having, God forbid, extra gas right now. Even though you're eating keto foods, you're noticing a very clear digestive response, which is why stress management is not just about getting you to just chill for chill's sake. It's to let your body know you're not in a state of panic and that you should do the things that you're supposed to do, like digestion. Like if you're in a stressed state and you're constantly in that high stress state, your digestive system does not work well. And if digestion is not working well, you're not going to feel good. It's going to emanate literally in the form of gas or bloat or some other digestive types of things. The effects of leaving this stress unresolved go way, way, way more physical than any of us even imagine. Even if you're doing your fair share of at-home workouts, by the way, sheltering in place can be quite stressful physically on you. The combination of an emotional and physical tension make your muscles feel sore. So if you joined us late, that's what we're talking about. Are you feeling more sore? Because we're right at about a month and a half into kind of being holed up in our houses. And the new normal, so to speak, I hate that term, but that's what people are calling this. The new normal is causing such a reaction in our bodies from all the emotional stress that it's ending up showing up physically now. That pain makes you even more anxious, which makes your body even stiffer. It's just not a fun cycle at all. So the pain management specialist in this story, Dr. Bax, says that it's important to try and stop the negative feedback loop between emotional and physical pain. He recommends gentle physical movement to break the cycle. So that includes things like stretching. How easy would it be to just do like a side stretch? Oh, that feels so, oh crap. I had more tension there than I was expecting. I was going to do this and I'm like, oh, wow. Oh, everybody, ooh, Be sure to breathe when you do this. Oh, crap. Oh, wow. I'm not kidding you. That felt good. Everybody now. Stretch. Stretch. Calisthenics with Jimmy Moore. Warm bath is another thing you can do. So if you've not soaked in a bath and you got Epsom salts around, all the more. You get the magnesium effect. You will sleep like a baby tonight. Heating pads. Do you have any heating pads around? So where you're hurting, definitely stick a heating pad there. All of these are kind of gentle things that can help break you out of that cycle so you don't feel that stressfulness. So for me, I've got lots of little toys in my other building. I've got a massage chair, I've got a vibration plate, I've got an inverted table, I have an infrared sauna, I have a hot tub. So I've been using those, bouncing around all those therapies pretty much constantly. Well, since the sabbatical. On the sabbatical, that's literally all I did. And then I got back from my 6-month sabbatical in March 1st, and then all this hit, I just intensified all of those things even more. So utilize this opportunity to get little bits of movement to relieve some of that pressure physically on your body. So once you start to feel a bit better in multiple ways from these relaxing strategies, it might be time to kick it up a notch. So when you start feeling better and some of that pain has dissipated, you need to start doing things to take this stiffness and stress away, and that includes exercise. So particularly right now when people are cooped up in their houses, doing some kind of exercise on a daily basis will help you, according to Dr. Gladstone. It might seem ironic. You probably associate working out with making you sore rather than preventing soreness, but post-workout aches, like delayed onset muscle soreness, is a temporary recovery process that ultimately heals your muscles as they're getting stronger. When you're not able to move around as much, your body gets sore in a less beneficial way. So, same soreness, maybe you're feeling something that feels like delayed onset muscle soreness right now, but what it is, it's a stress response soreness. When you start exercising, after you chill your body down, you start doing this exercise, you may feel some soreness from the exercise, but it's beneficial in the end because the soreness is a sign that good growth is happening with your muscles. You see the difference there? So when you're not able to move around too much, your body gets sore in a less beneficial way. Pain in your joints and twinges in your muscles are all messages from your body telling you it's literally aching to move more. So if you're sore right now and you haven't been moving as much, your body is screaming, hello, McFly. Move your body. It's fascinating how we get so many cool signals from our body of exactly what we need. And at this time of crisis, this time people are stressed, one of the things we need the most is a little movement. And there's a lot of people showing you how to move, right now, so you just gotta move your body. It can be hard to get started with a physical activity routine if you're already stiff. Once you get moving, even like a quick yoga session, Dr. Gladstone said it will get easier. Right now, we're in an extraordinarily stressful time that nobody can ignore. Taking care of yourself emotionally and physically is of the utmost importance. When you combine treating your body and mind well, you'll hopefully start feeling a lot happier and a lot less randomly sore. So anybody else dealing with this where you've just been sore? Like even as I'm talking to you, I feel soreness in my lower back. I've got a little bit of soreness here in my neck and down into my shoulders. And then, yeah, of all the places in the world, I feel like I had a major tricep workout that I'm now having soreness from. And I've literally done none of that. So it's a thing, you guys. This whole unexpected soreness from the stress, it's real. So I'm not going to leave you with that without sharing a little bit of how you can deal with some of the stress. And I've been doing a lot of these on my Jimmy Rants lately. But I found this one from verywellmind.com. And it's all about reframing situations so that you can lower your stress levels. Because right now, people have narratives in their mind about what's happening here. And so those narratives, a lot of times, usually are worst case scenario, or they're an impossible scenario that probably won't happen. But that's where people's minds go. Well, when your mind goes there, you're there. Your body physically feels it. Your emotional state feels it as well. And so you're already there. So how do you reframe these situations to create less stress? So this is a process called cognitive reframing. It alters your perception of stressors and thus will relieve significant amounts of stress in your body, create a more positive life before you even make any changes. So did you know if you're feeling a lot of that stress and soreness in your body, you can reframe things in your mind that will immediately have effects even before you start implementing this. Just having that right frame of mind will put you in the right mindset. So if you perceive you're being threatened physically or psychologically, your fight or flight response will kick in. Your stress response can be triggered by events ranging from annoying to frightening and can remain triggered long after the event has passed. This is the thing too. All these people that are like worked up into a frenzy right now over COVID-19, when it's over and they say everything's safe and you know how many people are still going to continue the frenziness in their mind and they're still going to have negative health effects because of it? Yeah, I think it's going to be big. Reframing techniques are a way of minimizing these stressors that you perceive in your life and thus leads to relaxation. So how does the reframing work? You ready for this? Number one, learn about your thinking patterns. The first step in reframing is to educate yourself about some of the negative thinking patterns that are exacerbating your stress. So be sure to see common cognitive distortions to see which ones, if any, may come into your life. The negative explanatory styles to learn a particular way that pessimists view their life experience. So I was going to come on here with my water glass with halfway down. Now, I would look at that and go, is that half empty or is it half full? And of course, optimists say, oh, it's half full. And a pessimist says, oh, it's half empty. And so your mindset, I'm going to take some water while I'm here. Your mindset views how you see and perceive that experience. Pessimists tend to experience more stress and less success than optimists. It's important to understand how they think and work to adopt a positive explanatory style instead. Educate yourself about these thinking patterns and how they affect people is important for laying the groundwork for understanding and change. So I think the takeaway from that one is to try to be positive. And some people are like, well, I don't want a fake feeling like I'm positive and everything's happy and everything's well when it's not. It's so overwhelming and I don't know what I'm going to do. And we're going to... You know who you are if you're one of those people. And there's people who wallow in negativity. I've never understood those people because I'm one who tends to try to keep pretty chill about things. Because at the end of the day, if things you can't change are still happening, why, pray tell, are you doing that to your body? Why are you messing with your emotions, which are causing that soreness in your muscles and other emotional impacts in your brain? Try to be positive. And it's not faking, it's just reframing in your mind that you are choosing to be negative or you're choosing to be positive. And I don't know about you guys, I'm choosing to be positive. Yes, things are real. The reality of this, I'm running out of money. I'm working on some things behind the scenes to try to get some money, but usually my sources of income are sponsors who support my work. Well, they're all holding their money right now. And I've got a couple sponsors I'm working on behind the scenes to try to get some money, but that's a real stressor. But I could wallow it and go, oh no, I'm gonna run out of money, it's so bad. Or, okay, I'm blessed to be alive. I'm blessed I don't have COVID-19. I'm able to breathe still. I'm able to communicate with you guys here on Jimmy Rants. I'm able to do all these things. So I'd rather see what good things are happening in the midst of this rather than wallowing in what the bad things are. And that positive mindset is going to help you in so many ways. Number 2, notice your thoughts. If you catch yourself when you're slipping into overly negative and stress-inducing patterns of thinking, it's going to be a good thing. Being aware of this when it happens is an important part of challenging and ultimately changing them. So self-awareness right now, guys, when you find yourself going into a negative state, and I've got some friends that I talk to on the regular who they go there in their mind. They just go right to the negative, like right away. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Different perspective. How about this? And they go, oh yeah. But they didn't catch themselves. Getting yourself to the point where you catch yourself before you get into that negative mindset is key. Being aware is an important part of challenging and ultimately changing them. One thing you can do is just become mindful of your thoughts as though you're an observer. In other words, do an out-of-body experience. And I've had to catch myself a few times, especially during my sabbatical. This is where I learned this skill really well, you guys. When I would find myself getting into a really dark place, I would stop, kind of remove myself, the rational side of myself, out of myself, look at what's going on and go, why am I thinking that way? So reframing it and being aware. When you catch negative thinking styles, just note them at first. If you want, you can keep a journal, would definitely help. Start recording what's happening in your life and your thoughts around the events, and then examine the thoughts through your new lens to get more practice in catching these thoughts. So that's something that has been extremely helpful for me personally, and I hope it's going to help you guys as you learn this perhaps for the first time. Another thing you can do, and I've talked about this before as well, is meditation, where you learn to quiet your mind and examine your thoughts. If you don't have a moment in your day, preferably early in the morning in the stillness of the day while it's still quiet, find time for even like 10 minutes where all you do is just sit in the stillness of your own thoughts, quiet your mind down, and breathe deeply and center yourself. Now people are like, oh, that sounds so woo-woo. You bet. It probably is a little woo-woo, but it works. Don't knock it till you try it. Once you become an observer, it's easier to notice your thoughts rather than getting caught up in them. So if you find yourself spiraling with negative thoughts, stop, hammer time on them, because you need to figure out why you're having the negative thoughts and acknowledge what's going on and try to reverse that sooner than later. Because some people get so deep, dark down into the pit that they can't really reach up to get out anymore. And that's not a pretty place to be. Number 3, challenge your thoughts. As you notice your negative thoughts, an effective part of reframing involves examining what's the truth, what is accurate, what's inaccurate. Are the things you're telling yourself true at all? What are some ways to interpret the same set of events? I do this a lot with my friends where they present me something with something negative happening in their life, and I go, all right, here's another perspective, and I do a different perspective on the same set of events. And sometimes they go, well, dang, I didn't even think about that. And so if you don't think of all the possibilities, How do you focus on just one of those possibilities and let that determine your emotional health, which leads to stress, which leads to soreness in your muscles? You see how all this is tied together? Which way of seeing things will serve you better? That's what you need to ask yourself too. Is look at all the reasons and explanations of what you're going through. Now, which one is going to make you or serve you better? That's a good question to ask. Instead of seeing things the way you always have, challenge every single thought and see if you can adopt thoughts that fit your situation, but also have a positive outlook. Again, this is not about being Pollyanna-ish and denying the reality of things. I get it. But there's some people who live so much in reality that they overwhelm themselves with conjecture about that reality. In other words, they have their own version of reality going on in their mind that is far different from the reality. That sounds so weird because reality you would think would be an absolute thing. But people have a perception of reality that is far different than the reality. All right, the last one, number 4, replace your thoughts with positive thoughts. Have you ever been to a hospital and noticed that the nurses often ask people about their discomfort rather than their pain? That's reframing in action. If the person is in searing pain, the term discomfort becomes annoying and seems to reflect a disconnect in understanding. But if the pain is mild, reframing it as discomfort can actually minimize the experience of pain for many patients. Have you ever noticed that? I've seen that before. What's your discomfort level? Now, I have heard a few nurses say pain level, but discomfort level, that's kind of a cool term, because if you're in a lot of pain, you're not talking about discomfort. You're going, I want to punch you in the face, I'm hurting so bad. Or discomfort, yeah, I got a little bit of achiness, but I'm okay. It's an interesting way to reframe it. This is a useful reframing trick that we can all put to use. When you're looking at something negative, see if you can change the self-talk by using less strong words and less negative emotions tied to that. When you're looking at a potentially stressful situation, see if you can view it as a challenge that will make you stronger in the end rather than a threat here in the here and now. Look for the gift in each of these situations. See if you can see your stressors on the more positive edge of reality. See them in a way that still fits the facts of the situation, but is far less negative and more optimistic and positive. So guys, if you're feeling that stress and soreness in your body, trust me, I'm right there with you. Tension in your neck, your shoulders, maybe a little tension, headache, maybe lower or middle back pain. Do all the things to try to deal with the stress and deal with the things that are leading to the stress to begin with. That reframing article I just went over, amazing information in there. I hope that information helps you out as you are trying to work your way through all this unexpected soreness from the COVID-19 coronavirus stress. All right, I want to see what you guys have to say. Going to go to Instagram Live here first. We'll come over to Facebook Live here in a minute. Just a reminder to my Living La Vida Low Carb Facebook page. Can't see you, so can't interact with you, but I do look at your comments after the show is over. All right, guys, welcome in. JimmyRants.com is the website for all the past episodes. Thanks for being here today. Brittany says, yes, take the weekends off for you. I'm learning it. See, Brittany, I came back into work mode on March the 1st after being gone 6 months in a row doing nothing. And I knew I was going to back off on working as much, but what I found being back in this now, right at a month and a half now, I'm falling back into old habits. So I'm having to catch myself falling back into those go habits, because that's what I've always known. So yeah, Saturday, Sunday, 2 p.m., Jimmy Rants is probably no more. If I'm feeling it, every once in a while, I'll do a weekend one. But I think I'm going to use the weekends to just stop, relax, breathe, and do all the things. So I do plenty of content here during the week for you guys. But thank you for reassuring that's a good decision. Brittany says, pain in my stomach and soreness in my legs, like I've worked out, but I really haven't. Yeah, I think a lot of us are feeling that right now. And it's taking people by surprise. Kat says, getting sore only from workouts so far. I'm surprised I'm still on track. Nothing takes my stress away like a workout, so I'm keeping it up. Well, the reason you're not feeling that pain, Kat, is because of your workout. So kudos to you. You're one of the few people that are probably still being regular with the workouts. A lot of us are using it as a pity party. I don't have access to my gym. I just don't want to do anything. And we're suffering the consequences from that. Back pain tends to appear when you have instabilities in your life, job, and family, like a lack of support, lack of ability to support yourself. And a lot of people are dealing with that at this very moment. So it is very much a real thing. Not your average keto podcast. Yeah, both me and my husband are having shoulder pain out of nowhere. It's happening. Brittany says bloating like crazy from foods that typically don't bother me. And that's an interesting thing, because that's one of the physiological effects happening from this is digestively, even though you've tolerated keto foods and things before, digestively, this stress is having a physical impact on that system. So maybe you're suddenly not able to tolerate digesting fat as well as you used to. I'm seeing it happen. And it's all predicated from not dealing with the stress adequately, which then leads to an emotional state that's unstable, which then leads to a physical effect in your body that ain't going to go away until you deal with the mindset first, which is why I wanted to do this Jimmy Rants here today. Pink Puggy Pundit says, if the weather wasn't so bad where I live, I'd probably go for a walk more, but definitely no soreness or joint pain. I keep a pair of 5-pound weights near my work area. Well, that's good. It means you're doing things to take care of yourself, and that's good. Kat says, why is the Epsom salt gone from all the stores? If they took it before toilet paper, then I can understand, but why was toilet paper in such a high demand? Yeah. The toilet paper thing kills me. COVID-19 is a respiratory thing. Now, unless you're using it to blow your nose, I don't know why you needed toilet paper. Unless people thought, well, if all you know what breaks loose and we don't have access to toilet paper. Although I could think of other things I'd rather have long before I'd have toilet paper. But we'll save that for another day. JP says, yes, lots of tension from stress. I think a lot of us are dealing with that. Even the best of us who are pretty much trying to stay positive. And you guys know that's been my modality, is being positive and uplifting and encouraging. Even I'm having this happen. So don't beat yourself up about it, but try to catch it so that you figure out the genesis of where that pain is coming from, so you can, correct it sooner than later. Downtown Vapors, I tend to be the one talking people off the edge. Yeah, exactly. There are a lot of people out there, they're having a tough time. And I've had to talk a few people off the ledge as well. So, all right, let's come over here to Facebook Live. Thank you guys for being here. See if you guys have any comments about this topic I shared here today. Hello, Valerie. Hello, Jane. Jane says, thank you for the information. I really had no idea about this. Yeah, Jane, it got my wheels turning, because I've noticed since all this went down that I was having just unexpected soreness. Now, I'm 48 years old. There's going to be general soreness anyway. But I was shocked when it started intensifying. So specifically lower back and neck and shoulders. So I have like a little handheld little massager that's got a little probe thing on the end that I've been doing some of this number with on my low back. I also have some CBD oil cream. So it's got CBD oil in it, and it's like a cream that's a backache cream. And like I said, all those other little toys I've been using. I also have a foam roller. If you guys foam rolled, so if you have one of those, be using that. I roll probably at least 3 to 4 times a day. You'll get a little snap, crackle, pop if you go over your back a little bit, but you're kind of trying to relax all those muscles that are holding that tension in. And if it's unresolved and you leave that tension, it's going to lead to problems down the road. So dealing with this sooner, it's not just a quality of life in the here and now, it's a long-term prospect of your overall health, that it goes well beyond your diet and things like that. Get this under control sooner than later. All right, thank you for your comments, Facebook Live. See if there's any more here on Instagram. Nope. All right, so if you're feeling sore, and you don't have an explanation as to why you're feeling sore, hopefully today's Jimmy Rants kind of put it on your radar screen, that there's definitely physiological effects from the emotional stress you're feeling over COVID-19. And look, we're all going through this. This isn't something one person's going through and nobody understands me. We all understand each other right now. We know this is not an easy time for people, and I say be kind to yourself. Give yourself good grace in the midst of this, because it's very easy to wallow in your pity and in your fear. And if you're one of those people who tends to look at things on the negative side, can I just encourage you to try to shift that? And if for no other reason, for your own good, for your own health and your own sake, I think if we start thinking in a positive manner, which is something I've tried to exude here on Jimmy Rants, is to just be uplifting and positive to help you guys through this time, because we're all having a tough time right now. And this is not fun for anybody. And the only thing I can say to you is it won't last forever. We will come out the other end of this. Yes, there will be a lot of consequences to what's happening, but we will come out the other end of it. And all you got to do is hang in there in the meantime, trying not to stress about things so much and trying to take things in stride. And your emotional state will not affect your physical state if you can learn to do these things. That's it for this episode of Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com is the website. As always, go follow me. I'm over on Instagram Live. We also simulcast on Facebook Live. Thank you guys for being here. But on Instagram is where we do the show. At Livin' Low Carb Man is my username there. LIVINLOWCARBMAN. Somebody the other day was like, I don't know how you do the Instagram. And I was like, well, you download the app on your device. You sign up. You start following people. And that's where you follow at Livin' Low Carb Man. And we do lots of content besides Jimmy Rants at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. I have regular posts I put on my page. I also do stories there as well with all kind of content. So go follow me. I'd really appreciate that. If you missed the live, go watch the replay over at JimmyRants.com. You can also type in a keyword, Jimmy Rants, over at YouTube and find all the shows as well. So guys, that's it for now. I'll be back again real soon. Bye. All right.